Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at people who overheard something disturbing. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was at a dance club in Mexico once. I was headed to the bathroom, but there were a ton of people crowding the entrance and they were quietly talking in a single conversation with each other. I did not speak Spanish. I figured it was just a line, so I queued up behind the group. Another local guy lined up behind me and after a few minutes tapped me on the shoulder. He and I had the following conversation. Him, do you speak Spanish? No, just English. These guys are planning on killing someone and I worry that you're listening to them. You should leave right now. So that was pretty scary. I mean, good on this guy for warning this person because they could have died for being a witness. And that's so crazy. They will just talk about killing someone in the open like that? In public? Really? I was traveling back home from a work trip last year. About an hour from boarding the plane, a woman on the seats behind me answered her phone and let out the saddest wail I've ever heard because the person on the other end told her that her son had died. It was extremely sad and weird to think that there were so many witnesses to probably one of the worst moments in her life. Wow, that's so sad. My father-in-law died after a routine hip replacement. His oxygen levels plummeted and he suffered heart failure. While he was brain dead in the ICU, a physician came up to do his rounds with a group of residents and they asked us to leave the room, so we sat in the waiting area outside the elevators. The group came out and while they were waiting for the elevator to arrive, the doctor said to his students, and that is why you never give Haldol to a heart patient. And that is why my mother-in-law got a 150k settlement from the hospital. And that is why they have those little signs in hospital elevators reminding you to not discuss patients. Dude, man, that's crazy how because they're doctors, like people dying is like an everyday thing and it doesn't even feel like they're sensitive to it. The fact that the doctor would just say that in front of his family, that's crazy. But good that they got caught because else the family wouldn't have even gotten any payment at all. I was in the ER due to kidney stones. Overheard a man next door wailing because his father suffered from a heart attack during a baseball game they were at. We were at the ball game, just having a good time. We were just having a good time. That's so sad. The fact that anything can just happen at any time and you wouldn't ever know, right? So just enjoy your time with the people that you love, seriously. My dad, probably drunk, telling me over the phone how he was gonna kill my mom's new boyfriend. He thought I was her. I was 10. Okay. This poor kid, seriously. My most absentee father was killed by a train when I was 11, the Saturday before Father's Day. The next day I overheard my grandmother, his mother, telling someone on the phone that deputies had walked on either side of the track collecting what was left in 2 body bags. Yeah, that's traumatizing. I overheard the conversation between my mother and father when my father decided he was going to stop cancer treatment and was ready to die. I had stopped at the house on my way back from work and a really nasty storm rolled in, so I just spent the night. My mother is pretty hearing impaired, so she speaks loudly. From the guest bedroom, I overheard her say, "There's still something we can do." So I went and listened outside the room. It was basically my father telling her that he's tired of the treatments and just wants to go. His cognitive function had already declined so much, he didn't feel like himself anymore. We all knew that this was going to happen eventually. He had received a 3-month prognosis and ended up lasting over 2 years. You don't really beat stage 4 brain cancer, so I wasn't disturbed or shocked or anything, just very sad. Man, these are sad. It's obviously the saddest when someone that you know decides they just want to give up. My great-grandmother, delirious on her deathbed, was talking to herself or a ghost, I'm not sure, but she was saying she was sorry for not protecting you or her. She went on to talk about her only baby daughter used to bang her crib against the wall, and one day my drunk of a great-grandfather got sick of it and slammed her against the wall. She went to check on her and she was limp. She died 18 hours later and my great-grandfather buried her in the backyard. Why would he do that? He killed his own kid then? And he just buried her in the backyard? I guess back in the days, crimes just go unnoticed, right? A girl at my high school telling her friend about the time she caught her ex cheating on her with his 13-year-old sister. She called the cops on him. Girl just dodged the whole red cannon. Good that she called her cops on him because he deserves to be in jail. A buddy called me to cancel plans because he was sick. He put the phone down but didn't hang up. I heard him say, okay, out of that. What are we gonna do? Heard another voice name a bar, so I went too. Oh. So basically, I made the night purposefully awkward. Now it's 20 years later and we are still buds. Look back on it and laugh. Oh. Yo, this can never be girls. I just know. That's crazy. The fact that they did that to be funny, right? And to just make everything awkward. And the fact that this is probably like their best story and they're still buddies says a lot about guys. They're definitely just more chill with friendships and more forgiving for friendships. But I feel like if this were girls, nah. You know, cut them off immediately. How dare you do that to me? How dare you? Probably my mum telling my dad I knew from the very beginning that me wouldn't amount to anything. She probably said it out of anger and didn't mean it or whatever. But after all these years, I can feel my heart sinking whenever I'm reminded of it. Seriously, why? Why do parents do this? Like, that's your kid. If they're not gonna amount to anything, you're at fault too. Parent them well and maybe they'll be motivated to do things. My ex-grandma tried to talk to my mum into keeping her first 2 kids and giving up us other 3 for adoption. Wow. Ex-grandma it is. Deserve to be an ex-grandma. I've actually never heard someone use that term before. That's my ex-grandma. Not my grandma anymore. My schizophrenic mother crying about the people in the wars murdering her ex-boyfriend by tearing him apart at 4 a.m. She hadn't talked to the dude since before I was born. I was already into horror and gore stuff as a teen, so it didn't traumatize me quite as much. Oh, hell no. Hell no. When my parents' friend went to eat at a house, I went to the bathroom. When I came back, they were talking about how proud they were of my little sister overcoming her school phobia and her depression like a chief. Right after this, they went on me saying they were disappointed in me, that I wasn't doing anything interesting, that I was a bit of a failure. They then talked about how I had gained weight recently. I was much aware of it, but I still don't need other people to bring attention to it. I'm doing what my depressed binge-eating ass can. It really broke something in me. That's so sad. What the hell? So was it the parents' friends saying this, or was it the parents saying this in front of their friends? Because if it was the parents' friends, who are you to talk about my kids like that? Get out. But if it was this person's parents, damn, that's sad. My mother drunkenly saying she regretted having me to some family friends and beating herself up by claiming that she must have done something wrong during her pregnancy with me, all because I turned out the way I did. I heard all of this because I had tiptoed out of my room and into the hallway. It was late and I was supposed to be in bed, but my little brothers came crawling into my bed since the adults were being loud, then requested that I ask them if they could be quiet. I felt like I had to be a good sister. I didn't get that far. When the adults started laughing again, I snuck back into bed. I was only 8, and I don't think I'll ever forget it, or forgive her, frankly. The adults were laughing. Why? Why do adults do this, seriously? Like, saying that does nothing. You brought your damn kid into this world. Screw these adults, seriously. They just bring so much trauma to their own kids. Well, that's it for the video. Tell me in the comments what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!